You're listening to the Build From Here podcast, a podcast for the hunter and sporting dog enthusiast alike. Join your host, Joshua Parvin, as he interviews retriever owners and discusses the trials and triumphs that lead to a great gun dog. Build From Here is presented by Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy, online resources to help you train your retriever. Now, your host, Joshua Parvin.
Welcome to the Build From Here podcast. On this episode, it is my great honor to be bringing to you and introducing you to Cornerstone member Cody Lloyd. He's a really great guy, and honestly, I'm really just impressed with him and his passion for his retrievers and just training in general. He's really been getting after it. In fact, he's volunteered and is leading the PA chapter, and it's just been incredible to see that start to blossom as we've started the chapters, and people like Cody are jumping in, taking charge, and helping see that vision through. And it's just been incredible. So without any more further ado, welcome aboard, Cody. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Thanks, Josh. Really stoked to be here.
Man, I'm really glad you're on here. I'm excited to be, there's all kinds of stories I'm sure we'll share, getting your history and your background. I know I'm really excited about a story you're going to share here in a little bit, maybe one of those big highlight moments, but we'll get there. Before we get there, Cody, man, let's just tell us a little bit about you. Where do you live? Where are you from? And we'll go from there.
Well, I am from basically a nowhere town in Northeast PA. It's close to like the Bloomsburg, Wilkes-Barre area. And I am actually a technical writer. So I get to work from home half my days, and then I'm in flight half my days. It's fantastic. Some of the lunch times I get to go out and do minor 20, 30-minute lunch session. And then it seems to be working out perfectly for me.
Man, that's great. Sounds like you got a good setup. That way you can do what you're really passionate about. That's so cool. Where did, when did you get kind of into the hunting game? Is hunting, has that always been something that's part of your life? Has hunting been something that's newer? Where did hunting, come into your life?
Hunting has always been a part of my life, and I don't remember a time when we never did. I know I first went with my dad out and my grandfather out on the river when my first memory was 8. And I took a time off during college and then jumping back in. I know it's been ducks and deer up until after college, and then we added in geese to the mix, and it's been fantastic.
That's awesome. So you said your first memory was at 8. What, you mind sharing that?
No, not at all. We went out on unfortunately, it was a 12-foot bass boat with a pop-up PVC pop-up line, and throwing out all the decoys, had giant waders on, and we went out and just hanging out. And, there was a giant yellow lab beside me, and who wouldn't retrieve everything but the duck. Great dog will retrieve everything but the duck, and it's fantastic. But like everybody's story, it was slow one time, and Dad looks over, "Hey, do you want to shoot?" There's not a bird in the sky all day. It's like, sure, why not? He hands me a 10 gauge. It's the earliest memory I can remember, and it was just fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, that I've never actually shot a 10 gauge. How did that feel at 8 years at 8 years old?
Oh, basically, I put the gun through the blind, pulled the trigger, and then went back 4 feet. It was fantastic. I was not ready for it.
Man, that is wild. That's hilarious. I mean, that's clearly a defining moment, though. It's kind of like a rite of passage. Like I bet you felt pretty big going back to school later and kind of telling your buddies, "Yeah, I shot a big old 10 gauge."
It was definitely fantastic.
Wow. So no birds on that. Was it your dad that introduced you to hunting?
It was, I'm going to say my dad and my grandfather. It was from the earliest memory. My grandfather had a buck on the wall. My dad and grandfather went out to Canada to go hunt bear. And it was just,
Oh, wow.
It's been intertwined the entire time between hunting and fishing. it was mostly the three of us, no matter what.
So you've got kind of generational legacy of hunting. That's
Mhm.
pretty awesome. Yeah, for me and my dad is who got me into hunting. My granddad on my mom's side was into hunting too. So we kind of all hunted together for a while, but it was really my dad that got me into hunting personally. His dad wasn't really big into hunting, so we never really hunted together. But it's definitely a legacy. And it's something I hope to pass down, and hopefully, my kids enjoy it to some degree. At least maybe something outdoors, whether it's fishing, something in the
Mhm.
sporting world of the outdoors.
I know just my father-in-law shot a buck on the other side of the field, and automatically jumped in the Ranger, drove down to see it. And last year, it's fantastic. My kid actually helped me dress the snow goose last year. That he was actually
Really,
up when I got home. Oh, it was fantastic. He just pretended and pointed at everything, but it was either way, it was fantastic.
he was directing. Yeah, you have a son.
He's 2, so he didn't do very
He's 2?
much.
Yeah, he was just like, "Yep, you do this, you do that." He was doing
Hmm.
that's hilarious, man. That's so cool. Oh, wow, that's not gonna be long, and, just a few more years, it won't be long, and he'll be out there with you.
I'm planning on throwing headphones on him this year and putting them behind me, so it's gonna be fun.
Does he, help with the dog training?
He helps a lot with steadiness. Um, it's hilarious. I'll throw the ball, first one's bow, and then he'll yell, "My turn." So I'll throw it again and he'll run and get it. And then I'll throw like 2 at a time, send him for one, dog for the other. He helps out a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, the kids always bring, a whole 'nother aspect to the dog
Hmm.
training. They add a lot of steadiness for sure.
And it is fantastic.
So, we're gonna get back into hunting again. I do wanna kinda take a step back. I wanna talk a little more about what you do for a career because I know some may not. I didn't know this before talking with you, for the first time, but you said you're a technical writer. What all is involved with that? What does that look like? So it sounds like you do get to work from home, but what does the job entail?
It's writing documents. That's unfortunately it's a lot of meetings and writing documents. So I have a lot of time to listen to podcasts and it's very boring, but it gives me enough time to be able to be home leave at my 8 hours, be home, be able to hang out with the kid and train the dog and hunt and take time off. Can miss an early morning to go out for some geese and then come on and just knock out my hours. As long as I get my 8 in, no one really cares, and it's fantastic.
Wow. Wow. That's the American dream right there. A job that fits into your family, does what you need it to do, helps you pay the bills, lets you spend
Mhm.
time hunting and with the family. That's the American dream, no doubt.
That's why I still have it.
That's cool. Well, so a legacy of hunting has been in your family.
Mhm.
Now tell me about this dog. You said this dog, at 8 years old, you got this yellow lab sitting next to you. What's up with that? Who trained the dog? Was your dad the dog trainer, your granddad, or did y'all just have a dog and bring it along and hope it was gonna pick up some dogs?
So the dog did, off of what I remember, um, Magnum was an amazing dog. He was one of the dogs that we had a pen outside, and that's where he stayed. He hated indoors. Anything with 4 walls, he hated. So, like,
Really?
even the
Wow.
truck, he'd have a cow to get out of the cab, and it was a full-size truck, full-size cab. He'd have a cow, he'd wanna get out, so my dad threw him in the back, tied him off, and he just sat there the whole ride. It was, like, -10 at the house the one time, we tried to bring him in, and he chewed through the drywall of the garage to get outside, and then he just lightened us up. He was one of the ones that, like, "Oh, hey, you're here to do a job, you go to work," but we wanted to bring him in, he hated it. Um, he would do everything. He would sit, stay, heel, an amazing dog. He'd ride in the boat perfectly, not a problem in the world. Nicest dog ever around kids. Hated feathers. There'd be
Really?
a duck out
Interesting.
there. There'd be a duck out there. My dad would throw a rock, hit the dog would bring back the duck, bring back the rock. Like you bring
Oh,
back
man.
decoys, everything you could think of, just never a duck. But also, like I was 8, so I got to hang out with the dog all day.
So that was
And
cool to you. Yeah.
oh yeah, definitely.
Wow. Makes sense. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, even though the dog was still fulfilling that purpose, he was your buddy,
Hmm.
and kind of got you into that. So that seems like where dogs kind of came into the picture. Let's fast forward a little. So you grew up, you continued hunting, then you took a break during college. What got you back? Were you just taking a break just because of time and all that? Just didn't have the time to hunt, or just weren't interested anymore, or what's the deal there?
So no matter what, I took time off of birds. No matter what, the second week of December, the second finals were done, I went out deer hunting. That never stopped. But a lot of my friends in college, I attempted to play two sports, didn't work out very well. But then I tried a double major, and that was really hard. So my friends in
Man,
college didn't really like hunting, and I got one into hunting actually, which is funny. But
really?
I worked basically a full time job throughout college to try and like help pay for college and everything. I didn't have time to go out on weekends. I was working at 10.
Wow. What well, I want to hear the story about your friend. How'd you get your friend into hunting?
So we were for deer, his grandfather had his grandfather basically has I think 10 acres. And we went camping every winter, and my smart decision, it was like January, so it's bow season. So we went out, and I brought my compound bow out. He brought his grandfather's crossbow. We just shot targets the entire time, just screwing around, hanging out by a fire, and ended up seeing a deer. And he's like, "I wonder if I can hit that." I'm like, "Do you have your license?" No. Well, we need to get it. So we actually left camping, got our license, or he got his license, and then we sat there. And for the rest of the day, he's like, "Can I shoot that squirrel?" I'm like, no. So like every time after that, like we went out, and I went to scout his grandfather's property with him. We did everything under the sun about, hey, I taught the next year we taught him like, hey, here's how to correctly shoot a crossbow, and try to get him in a compound bow, try to get him in the rifle, and just working our way through. And actually, it's funny, if he sent me a picture, what opening day of archery, about him and his son shot a deer, and it's just fantastic to see how it like trickles down and everything.
Man, that's so cool. So he wasn't big into hunting before. He just hanging out with you. He's like was out there. He's like, man, yeah, I'm shooting this target, and this could be fun. I could see how this could work.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. His father didn't hunt, his mother didn't hunt. Like no one in his family hunted really, but his
Wow.
grandfather had land. His grandfather was one of those guys where you could walk out your front porch and shoot a deer, and he saw his grandfather do it, and we ended it on that. I still go out at least once a year and hang out with him and his grandfather, and
Wow.
now we don't hunt anymore, but it's still super fun.
Man, that's cool. So that kind of goes on through college. You're
Hmm.
getting people into the outdoors. Then you get your job. You're out of college. When does the waterfowl game pick back up? What as soon as you got out of college, when did you kind of get back heavy into the waterfowling game?
Pretty much right after college. I mean, I graduated in May, and then we went down to. I got a hey, help me with this pit I just joined. So my dad joined a pit with a couple of his work buddies and went down. I helped. I did all the grunt work. We were helping with corn, helping build it, helping like brush it in and everything. And I got a hey, if you help out enough, you'll be allowed to hunt here sometime. Like,
There
cool,
you go.
works for me. And the main guy of the pit had a dog, or has a dog still, and great dog, just isn't steady. But I didn't
Mm.
know a dog could be steady at that time. So I know we
But this
were.
dog picked up the birds.
Oh, he picked him up. It's as long as he saw him go down, he picked him up. Didn't matter. When you threw a blind open, he jumped out. Oh, you just don't shoot that way. So like half the blind's cut off. It's wasn't a
Goodness.
huge fan of it, but I didn't shoot sometimes because I just wanted to hang out with the dog half the time, and I was there partially for the dog. Um, but it helped me fall back in love with it. The dog is great. He's getting a little older now, but uh, it's the dog partially brought me back in, as a lot of people do.
Really? Wow.
So
What
like going
what
from
made so is that why you decided to get a dog? Where did your dog come into the picture here?
So what's really funny is, as my buddy's dog was getting older, I get someone's going to have to pick up the torch. I can't get another dog. And I'm like, okay, well, where'd you get your dog from? And I know he could hunt. I know he was a good house dog. I know he was good, like, around kids and everything. So I'm like, where'd you get your dog from? And talking with him, I met his breeder, and I actually started talking with their breeder about stuff and started looking a little bit into dog training and everything. And I actually got my pup Bo from his breeder.
Oh, really? Wow.
And, it's talking for a while. I know the dog was good. It was like around like 120, 130-pound dog. I'm like, okay, he can pick up
That's
the
a
big
big dog.
honkers.
How does that big dog?
I got duped. Um, he's a big dog. He was perfectly fine with cripples. I'm like, okay, this is the dog I know can hunt. I know is good with the family. So we're good. So I talked to the breeder, was like, hey, I want a good hunting dog. I want to go out hunting with them. So after the one hunt, she's like, okay, come by and see these dogs. So they're like 6 weeks. It was during COVID time. She's like, you can't touch the dogs. You got to stay on the other side of the fence. But you could look at the dogs and see them play and everything. So like, how about this goose wing? Like, introduced them all to the goose wing. And I'm like, okay, I know what color I want. Thanks. We'll go forth from there. And I've never turned back from there. I got the dog I wanted, and I'm super happy that I got it.
Yeah, that's so cool. What did your buddy? So your buddy was pretty excited you were getting a dog from the same breeder, I imagine.
Oh, he was stoked. It was
Yeah.
funny. The first
Were they similar lineage, as in like were any shared parents of, or just similar breeding?
similar breeding, I think.
Okay.
I think Bo's mom is that dog's litter mate.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Pretty sure, yeah. It was honestly amazing to see, like, oh hey, I got what your nephew or whatever it is, and it's funny because we had pictures of them hunting together every time. I don't like pile pictures, except for when it's only dogs. Have the dog take the picture. I don't want to be in it. And we have a couple of them where they're sitting next to each other, and Bo's 75 pounds, 80 pounds, and he just looks half the size of the other one. And it's quite funny. You can see some of the resemblances, and we never had a bad day hunting both of them at the same time.
That's awesome, man. So you had never trained a dog before up until this point, I imagine?
Not hunting.
Okay.
My
Just
buddy
family dogs.
my buddy had a dog after college growing up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna train him to heel. So I trained him to run with me a couple miles and
Nice.
heel. He wouldn't come back worth anything, but he'd retrieve a ball. So taught that one. I taught a couple Aussies how to heel, but I didn't get into mainly dog training until I really got Bo.
Wow. What made you, well, let me ask this. Were you planning to send your dog to a trainer? Were you planning to train your dog yourself? What were you thinking at this time? You know, kind of thinking back as you're first getting into this. You've been doing this for a few years now. Um, what was your thought process? What was going through your mind?
So I wanted to prove a point. Um,
What was this point that you wanted to prove?
so my dad was like, okay, if you really want to go hunting with them, you need to find a trainer, maybe send him to a trainer. My dad grew up with pointers for upland, and he's like, I got my dogs from trainers, send them to trainers. That's what you do. That's just the thing you do. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to do it. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that time with my dog. Like
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
want,
I mean, that's hard.
I want that relationship with them. They go everywhere with me. There's not a problem at all in the world. And um, it's funny because my father-in-law was like, okay, you want to train a dog up to what level? And started finding videos from like a lot of big name kennels, and it's like, I want that. And that's when I realized after I got the dog, like, oh hey, dogs are supposed to be steady. I never knew they
Wow.
could do that. No one ever introduced all the dogs, and my dad didn't even know they could be steady. Like, That was just
So
the
you
thing
were
that
kind
happened.
of wondering into this a little bit. You were thinking, oh, I just need my dog to just go pick up the ducks. I don't care
Hmm.
if it breaks initially. And then as you start figuring out, hey, I could do this, all of a sudden your eyes are being open like, wow, there's more out there.
100%. Like I had no idea a dog could be steady.
Did
And
this
like,
did this make you rethink your idea to train your dog yourself, or you had kind of already gone out on a limb, so you pretty much had to had to do it?
I dug my own grave on that one. I was, no matter what, I was training this dog myself. And I winged it through the first year on like random YouTube videos. And I had a dog that was somewhat steady. He could retrieve. Um, his reward wasn't food anymore. It was retrieves. You
Yeah,
heal a certain amount, you get a retrieve. You stay long enough, you get a retrieve. And it was just all based on the retrieve and his immediate love for it. Going off from
that's some
there.
good stuff. I mean, that sounds like good things you learned right there, right? I mean, the
Mhm.
internet is definitely full of some good things and full of some challenging things at times, maybe some bad advice, but there's always some good stuff out there.
And it was, I didn't want to use, I went off of a well-known person, but they train GSPs. I couldn't
Okay,
really
yeah,
find a good lab one that I agreed with their values. Um,
okay, yeah, that's fair.
Everybody was like super hard on the collar, and I use a collar. I can't lie, I still do. Now it's mainly for the light that's on it, which is a lifesaver. Um,
Yeah.
but like I didn't go along with people because I didn't agree with their values. That they were super heavy. I found a couple
Where
British
did that
people that
come from? Were you just the way you felt about it in general, or was there like a defining moment where you said you saw something and you're like, I don't like this at all? Or it just kind of happened, like you just genuinely saw stuff, you're like, I don't want to do that.
in all honesty, dog's my best friend. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, every level on this collar, I'm gonna try and do. I put the collar on my arm, and I have a Garmin, and it goes up to 10. I'm like, okay, collar on my arm. I'm gonna stop when I can't handle it anymore. Look down and then see what number I'm at. And I just went up every tick. And I'm like, okay, this sucks. I don't want to put my dog above a 4, let alone any higher. Like I went up to 10 on my arm, and it was just like I've done stim in college. Like the highest stim I did was like a 7 or a 7. I'm like, this is no, we're not doing this. So I tried my best to get away from the collar, and I made a point where I'm going to do everything. I'm going to try and do everything without collar, and to totally have and a totally naked, no collar, no vest pup looks the best beside you in the blind.
100%.
So tried my best way to do it, and the more I got into training, the more I found different villager realms. So I heard of Cornerstone early, and I'm like, okay, this is a
Did
big
someone tell
financial.
you about it, or did you see it on the internet? Where did that, when you say you heard about it, did you just see an ad or did you just hear about it from like a friend or something?
So I was actually watching a dog training video. The one guy went through every day training his dog up to a year, and it actually popped up on his ads a couple times, which was hilarious. And
Huh.
then after like the fourth or fifth time, it showed up on Facebook. So I started looking into it. I'm like, I can't put this money down right now
Yeah.
because it was only the one. It was only the one at that point in time. And I'm like, okay, let's look into it more. So you guys had a trial that you put out a couple videos just to like tease the program a little bit. And after a while, after the program was done, uh, Sarah messaged me, and then I'm like, okay, my dog is here. When I started looking into CGA, the sit, stay, come, heel, but the steadiness was like 70%. If I stood beside him, it was 100, but the second I moved like 2 feet away, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Um, there was no gun shy, but we couldn't pick up honkers. They're really big, and I mean like 13, 15 pound honkers. We had trouble picking them up. We had just I I can't at that point in time we didn't do casting, we didn't do ankle backs. So like it was I just had a good dog at that point in time. And I'm like, I want more. I need more. I saw the SRS and I'm like, I want more. So after talking with Sarah, she's like, okay, it does 52 plus was from the start to the end. It'll give you everything to tell you how to make a fantastic hunting dog. And I talked to her, I think 3 months. I'm not gonna lie, it was a while. I racked her brain almost every day, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm doing it. I don't want to have a mediocre dog. I am doing this, and it was amazing. I did something that I somewhat recommend to people is if you come in not immediately, start from scratch. And I mean, we did the sit videos. I started from week one, day one, the entire way up. And it
What
took a
made
while.
you decide to do that? You just thought, hey, if I'm going to do this, I've already invested. I might as well just be thorough and make sure the dog
Mhm.
becomes all that it can be.
100%. I don't want to use color anymore. I'm not missing any gaps. I know there were gaps in my training. I did it all myself. I winged it all myself. I'm like, I know I'm not a great trainer. So you know what? We're doing everything from the start, not missing any gaps. We're doing day by day everything. If we skip days, we can skip days because we're already gravely proficient. At that point of time, I was having him carry his own leash at loads in a heel for like 2 hours. We were mostly good by myself. It's just, I needed that advanced stuff that I
Yeah.
needed major help with. But walking through the program, I realized our relationship got better.
Hmm.
It was more positive. It was more, I taught him how to, my break command is just, I say break, and the only expectation is to come back, bring the ball back to him. That's all I care about. And it was hilarious because I could do that and just instantly go playtime. And I say heel, and you just whip into heel and be steady. And I'm like,
Nice.
we couldn't do that before. This is amazing. I love this. And it was definitely it's definitely a time commitment, but it is 1000% worth it. I mean, walk through the program, start to finish again, coming in late. It was like, I think we were 2.5, 3 years in. And
Wow.
it was by far the gravest change that we've had.
So your dog was 2 or 3 before you jumped into the course.
Yep. And I
Wow.
was completely stuck on, I was stuck. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have this level of dog. And it's okay. He was a great dog. He was mostly steady. If he was beside me, I still tied him off every hunt. Like I did what I could to get to that point, but I'm like, I need somewhere to get me over that hump, get me over that edge to make him a great dog. And hey, CGA helped. It's going off the story later on. The CGA definitely did it for me.
Man, that's so cool. And I think that's encouraging because I talk to, I'm glad you said this because I do talk to a lot of people that, do wait. And they're curious, is it too late? Is it too late for my dog to be, what I want it to be? Or do I need to start over and we're at 2 or 3 years old? But so you would recommend, hey, look, if you're going to do it, you might as well go back through. And like you said,
Mm-hmm.
if you get to the skill and your dog's already there, great, move on. But by doing it the way you're talking about, you're making sure you're not missing anything.
100%, especially if you just watch random YouTube videos. I mean,
Yeah.
not every dog is different. Every dog is different, but you adapt. That's why the 52 plus is so great. You adapt your dog off of the videos, and it might not be the exact same thing. You might have to tweak it a little bit, but walking through it, it was fantastic.
I want to ask you that question there too, because I have seen people, wonder like, hey, you follow the same dog through the videos. How is that better than having multiple dogs through the videos? D- I would love to hear for you. So, because that's a big thing. And we encourage that, right? We're encouraging you. You have to train the dog in front of you. And so just because Violet does it this way doesn't mean your dog's not going to do it a different way. But I think that leaves a question is, okay, well, if my dog does it a different way, what do I do? How do I work through that? So my question for you is, how did you navigate that and um, how did you work through that? Was it easy? Did the course kind of lay it out? What made sense to you?
So, what was gravely different about this course and anything else was you saw Violet fail. And that's the thing. You never see a dog fail. And every other training video I've watched, it's always perfect. It's always every time they take a dog that's already completed to run a single mark. They don't take, oh, hey, I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna show you guys how the dog grows up with the program, following it and everything. It's you see her fail. Sometimes it's you see her fail like your dog would, and then you see you change you change to her in real time. So it's like, okay, how do I tweak this enough? Like prime example, angle backs. I gave up angle backs last year. Just straight up gave it up. I'm like, I am not ruining this. I will do with overs and backs, and it worked. 100% worked all year. I passed it over, passed it back, no problem. But I'm like, okay, I'm getting angle backs this year. I don't care. I'm getting angle backs this year. So watching the videos, I'm like, this isn't perfect. And my mind went, pull everything in close. Pull everything in close. And I mean, the bumpers were 20 feet out to the right, left, back. And I made basically wagon wheel with it. And then, which the community is by far amazing because I jumped on one of our calls and was like, hey, here's my problem. Prime example, you came up and was like, spread it out. I think it was you and Martin. We're like, spread it out. It's the
So
exact
the
opposite of what
opposite.
you're thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had the new member orientation call, I think the next day.
We did.
And
I remember. Yeah.
the lunchtime I got the train. I walked outside. I'm like, okay, we're doing this. I'm putting right and left over. I have a back and then I have angle backs. And I over exaggerated my cast. And I'm like, wait, he went to the correct one. I'm like, to the other side, I'm like, wait, he went to the correct one. Like, I never would have thought that one little thing, especially you guys made it so simple, so easy that like a lot of groups, people are bashing you because you don't know something like that. One little change changed the entire thing for me. If you put it in another group, you get bashed for it. Instead, I get, hey, let me know hey, let me know how you do. Let me know how it goes. And like at the very next, I know we were on the call very next day, and I'm like, hey, it worked out fantastic. No issues. And what, 2 months later, I did it at the PA live training, and it was perfect.
Wow. That's incredible. That's yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I think that's one thing I'm pretty passionate about too is people like you and the community because when you do face challenges, like we don't believe that we need to show 50 different dogs or 10 different dogs going through the exact same process because the goal isn't for someone to robotically follow that dog exactly. And we don't need to match our dog up with your dog perfectly because that doesn't matter. What matters is that you learn how things work, why they work, and how to approach them and how to change and adapt based on what you're seeing. So when we really try to take that approach is we show you, and we did show you the real authentic, hey, we are going to show you when this dog screws up because we show you the dog's first session. But we also want to teach you the why and why behind all that. And then sometimes it's necessary. The community aspect is when you're on this call, like there's just going to be times you're going to get stuck. That's the reality of it. We want to be transparent on that. You're going to face that, right? We do believe that we help you know exactly where to start, what to do next, and how to solve problems. That how to solve problems is key. We do help you learn how to solve problems in the community, for sure. But why do we help you do that? Because you're going to find a problem, and you're gonna get stuck at times. And so we want to help you get unstuck. But man, that's so cool. And I remember you telling me on that new member orientation, I was actually surprised that it happened so quickly. Like the next day, you're like, yeah, the dog's doing great now. I was like, wow, that's pretty quick.
It was the dog is half the reason we're that. The dog is more than half the reason why we are this far in training. My dad keeps on telling me it was a once in a lifetime dog, and is super jealous that his dogs didn't turn out like him. I'm like, it's not me. I promise, it's not me.
I find that I want to talk about this because so we really got a stark contrast here between two dogs from the same kennel, similar lineage, and that's what's interesting is both of them are fired up to retrieve, right? They're passionate about retrieving, but they're different. And maybe I think it's time to go ahead and share the story, man. Let's just go ahead and share one of your highlight moments, and then I kind of want to tie that back to some of the stuff we've already talked about. But I know that this is the moment I've been waiting for, and I know others are waiting for. This is going to be a good story. So, what's one of your greatest highlights with Mr. Bo?
So right now we have a pit, or we had a pit. So we're a person, a dog stand, a person, and then it was the exact same on the other side. It's not a beautiful pit, but there's enough for 2 people to sit on either side of a dog. 4 guys sitting there, 2 dogs shooting the bull like we are now, like not quiet, heads out, talking around. Just the guy was sitting up on the ledge, and really funny is this duck comes in from overhead, from back to front. Both dogs. Bo's looking behind him, which Bo is, hey, that bird's coming off the mountain. You can't see it for 5 minutes. Bo's marked it. When that tail stops wagging, hey, there's birds coming in. Nobody talk. And I'm sitting there staring at the dog, and bird comes flying over. Bo turns real quick. The other dog jumps out, starts running after it. And I mean, nobody has a gun picked up. We're all struggling, freaking out, getting a gun up. And bird comes up in front of us, and there's this little ledge that drops in the cornfield. The duck actually took a hard right turn, and instead of being in front of us, it's now out to the right. And Dad finally catches it. I can't see it. One drops. And I'm like, I still had no idea where the duck was. So the other dog's out there where we lost the visual. He's out 80 yards searching for the duck. And I'm going, I can't do anything about it. Dog's already out there. I'm not sending Bo. We're not having 2 dogs on 1 bird. So the guy's like, no, it's over there. It's over there. He's yelling at his dog, trying to get him over, and no good. Guy eventually gets fed up and like, we have to get this duck. So send Bo. So I sent Bo, and it was the exact same thing. He ran out to where he missed the duck. I sat him on a whistle, and then straight, I stood up on his kennel, one cast over, and he's like, okay, that doesn't look right, and just hauled over to it. It was 1 whistle, beautiful sit, 1 cast over. He runs probably 100 yards over and does what he does best, just tackles the duck, picks it up, brings it back, and that other dog's still way out searching for it. And I get him back, just rub it up on his face, give him love, taking the duck. I'm like, hey, this looks cool. And then my dad's like, no. He goes, how'd you do that? Like, all of the guys I hunt with are like, we've never seen a dog do that before. And like, Bo wasn't leashed because I didn't know the duck was coming. I didn't put Bo's tether on, which I usually forget to do now. I didn't put it on. We weren't ready. There was so much commotion. We were sitting there like I was physically pushing myself out of the blind, trying to find the duck. Like, we had no idea where it was.
Just chaos, absolute chaos.
It was worse than usual, yeah. And it's just the 1 whistle casting out with another dog searching for it, and it was amazing. And I tell that story as much as possible because I love the fact that Bo can sit perfectly beside me while another dog is breaking. As the birds are flying, as everything's happening, Bo is mostly calm, very obviously shaking because he's so excited, but he's as calm as he can be, sitting next to me, just waiting on his name.
Wow. Man, that is absolutely incredible. And that kind of, that's I love that question of how did you do that? But I think, if you rewind that, all the moments culminated, including the work that you did prior to CGA, right? You put all heart and passion in for 2 to 3 years. Then you jump into Cornerstone. You get things right. You make sure that you're not missing anything. And now the outcome of this is a dog that anyone would be proud to hunt with, right? I'm sure everybody in the blind was like, we need more of this.
Yeah. I know the one guy I hunt with, he goes, I don't like hunting with dogs. And then I look over, I'm like, hey. He's like, okay, bow doesn't count. Bow doesn't count. Because he hates how they break. He grew up, and
Yeah.
the guy's like 80. So he grew up where dogs aren't steady. Dogs just ran out after stuff. And then he goes, bow doesn't count in that. Can't. He's a better partner to have in the blind than any normal person. He sees you, he sees the birds, he tells you where they are. And a lot of the time you're sitting there ducking down and they disappear behind you. Hey, you know what the birds don't care about? The dog head spinning around and following them. And it's just, oh, I can't have you leashed anymore. Pop it off. And he's sitting there just spinning in circles, following the birds. And it's just, oh, wait, we hear honking. And everyone in the blind, and I mean everyone in the blind just stares at Bo. And you just see his head like locked. No matter where the birds are, he is locked on the entire time. And it is just the best thing ever.
Man, that gets me so fired up. And man, I'm just so proud of you for doing that too. I know that's got to be a defining moment, as in like, wow. I mean, obviously you knew your dog could handle it at this point. You'd probably been practicing all that through the course. But I mean, the fact that your dog was handling in the chaos, don't know where the bird is, you got a dog breaking. And if any dog is going to break, they're going to break when they see another dog break. I mean, you may have a remotely steady dog, but if another dog runs out and then someone's like yelling at it, trying to get it to handle, if a dog is not truly trained, then what is it going to do? It's going to be like, oh, this is my moment. Let's go. But clearly your dog was in tune with you. And that's one of the things we talk about. I think, and a lot of people don't understand, like at Cornerstone, our standard is just so much higher than anything out there, right? We are preparing the best hunting dogs out there. And when I say we, I include every member in that are a part of Cornerstone that are using the course. That's the collective we. We are all individually trying to have the best hunting dog that we can, and are clearly well equipped to do so. I mean, that's a very challenging scenario. And so that was basically a blind. So Bo didn't even see where it fell. Bo's eyes were just locked in where that other dog ran out there and was kind of hunting around. And so he thought, that's where I need to go first.
Even the people didn't know where it went.
Oh,
the only
wow.
reason my dad knew where it was because he caught it in the corner of his eye. We all thought it landed down there. I mean, everyone thought it landed down there. It was super silent. It came across. It took a hard right turn over to the right side, and the only reason he caught it was out of the corner of his eye. No one knew where it was.
So this bird was wounded. It wasn't necessarily even. Was it dead? Like it fell dead, or it like kind of like sailed and then died?
It was definitely wounded, unfortunately. But that is like the one best part about dogs are. I couldn't have gone over there any quicker. I couldn't have ran that distance.
Yeah.
And immediately I sat him. I passed him over. He was there, and I don't want to say less than 2 seconds. It was dog's fast.
Wow.
And he picked it up. I mean, it did bite him. That was the funniest part ever. It had a hold of his ear the entire way back. And I mean, when it got back, I saw him had in the ear, and I'm like, this isn't going to be good. It's like I sat there. And
was this a goose or a duck? I may have missed this.
No, we were goose hunting. It was a duck. But we don't get ducks. We do not get ducks where we're at. We just don't get ducks. So we see a duck. It's the greatest thing in the world. And no one knew it was happening. There was, of course, during season. So we're like, we can shoot it. Let's do it. And it was fantastic.
Wow.
It was
so what I wanted to tie back to, I mean, this just again gets me so fired up. I just had a lot of questions, but kind of going back to what I said that I wanted to kind of parallel is like 2 dogs, same kennel, similar lineage, somewhat related, 2 different outcomes, right?
100%.
But the potential was there in the other dog too. He just didn't get the training he needed to get to that level, right? At least he's passionate about picking up birds. That's fantastic. That's great. But you train to that other level. And I think, a lot of people out there, like you said, may not even realize, hey, there is more out there. There is another level. I see a lot of people maybe trying, and I would like to maybe kind of inquire this of you and ask, right? So you started with YouTube thinking about all of that. Was it one of those things? This seems like it was a journey that unfolded, and
Hmm.
maybe there was kind of realizations along the way. The first realization is, hey, I'm going to train my dog. And then you came to this realization of, oh, wow, dogs can be steady. That's new. Fantastic. Great. So, as you're hearing about Cornerstone very early on, and obviously when you're looking at that price, you're like, wow, and that, I don't know about that. Because at this point, you're thinking, I think I can probably just, I guess, were you thinking I could just do this without it? It just didn't make sense at the time for you. And I would love to know about that because I see a lot of people that wander into this thing of dog training. Um, there's a reason Cornerstone exists and there's a reason it's the price that it
Hmm.
is because of the detail that's there. But I think a lot of people are kind of wandering into this. They don't realize until they get to this moment in time, like you were 2 to 3 years in, and then you came to this realization. I think you said earlier, like, okay, this is what my dog's going to be. And then you kind of came to this other realization, well, maybe there is more. Maybe my dog can become more. But man, does any of that make sense? Kind of talk me through that, man. I would love to know what you were thinking about early on, kind of why you were thinking I just want to do it off online on YouTube. Was it just like you thought that this is going to work, or was your basically your goals shifting over time, and as time went on, you realize, okay, I do need more. What's kind of the story there? Because I think a lot of people that are listening to this, especially people that are non-Cornerstone members, I think this is going to make a lot of maybe resonate with them, and I would love just to hear more.
So I first started out like everyone else does. Every non super dog guy before is I'm now the dog guy in my family. It's fantastic. Um, so I started out off YouTube and I found the one guy and I still watch his videos, but he does no longer does retrieving dogs. And so I just like to see what level his dogs are. And he used no collar. He mostly does British methods, and I'm like, I love this. I want to have a dog like his. I followed him as long as I could, but his videos stopped. And I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I need more than just skipping to a totally different dog. I want to see that dog progress.
Yeah,
So then
yeah,
I found GSPs, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
They teach their dogs how to retrieve. So I'm gonna watch GSPs retrieve. And I'm like, not the best, but hey, as you can tell, there's at least three major people that have three very different opinions in how they train dogs. So it's like there's three vastly different ideas here, and I'm trying to throw them all into one. So CGA kept popping up in, and I looked at my wife and I'm like, it says lifetime. It says lifetime. Is that my lifetime? Is that my dog's lifetime? It says it, but I don't know. So messaged Sarah, and that was one of the questions I asked her. I'm like, whose lifetime is this? Because
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm I'm relatively young. Like I'm in my 30s. Like I'm going to have more than one dog. Is it going to be my lifetime? Is this going to be my dog's lifetime? Like sometimes you see, oh, lifetime guarantee. Oh, it's for the lifetime of the product. That's that's what 12 years. I need something more. I want the
Wow.
lifetime. I want the community. I want everything. And like that's why it took me 3 months. Is I'm sitting there going, is it lifetime? I clarified like 20 times with her, and I'm so sorry for that. But
Now, look, I get it. There's a lot of people out there, and sometimes they're not always on the up and up. So that makes you want to make sure, and that's fair. That's a fair question.
and that is like the lifetime thing was the nail. That's why I chose it. Like I was in a different group. I'm not going to say what the group is. They had a monthly membership, and I'm like, okay, for 10 months or for 5 years of that equals one time lifetime. I'm like, there's no question. I'm like, and I'm like the community in CJ. That's why I'm not saying the name. Community in CJ is better. I love the problem solving methods of us. I love the hey, I'm gonna joke around with you, but I'm also gonna tell you straight, like, this is how I did it. Choose a different way. You're more than welcome to choose a different way, but this is how I did it. And there's like 20 people commenting on one post being like, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried this? And then post, I think it was last week, the guy's like, oh hey, in year one. You sit in a chair. You sit on a chair or on a bucket and have Violet return to you. That's how you get a return. That doesn't work for me. And I was like, okay, here's the little thing that I did that made it work for me. Like it just makes it work for me. And there was like two other people. I was like, okay, I tweaked it in this little bit, and it maybe was sitting in a chair and was standing up, and that's what got to it. It might have been sitting on the floor, and that's what did it. And it was just like those little tweaks of like everyone coming together, be like, hey, try it. If it works for you, fantastic. But let us know. Like keep us updated, man.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think a lot of people can resonate with that. I mean, if you go back to when we started Cornerstone, that was kind of the way it was. There was nothing online back then. Prior to Cornerstone, I learned from DVDs and books and trainers in person, but ran into the same problem. Tried to mix a bunch together and kept hitting my head against the wall and needed more. And finally built it. Unfortunately, it had to go the hard way. I wish Cornerstone existed when we were starting. It would have been nice just to have everything you wanted all in one spot. But I think a lot of people can resonate with that, right? You're trying things, and my big thing is for people out there, like you're hopeful, you want your dog to turn out, and like you were, right? You were hoping it was going to work out, and you keep trying, and it did get you somewhere, right? You're going to see results if you go put in work. I mean, one thing's for sure. Proverb says all hard work leads to profit. So if you're going to put in hard work with your dog, you're going to see some results. But when you get everything dialed in and you've got a process that you can follow, that isn't just, it's not, we don't even offer a program. We offer a process, right? The process develops and creates it on the other side. You're going to come out and have this dog. The reason I say it's a process is the process has those nuances. And what I love about what you're saying there is, I mean, clearly you and other members are equipped to make those adaptations. And that's the reality. Like, you're going to have to adapt. That's the first thing. One of the first training lessons you're going to learn is be willing to adapt. You got to learn how to adapt, though. And that's kind of the key. And I think the people that you're surrounded with can be a big help on that. Gets me super passionate, but man, that is so cool. That just gets me fired up, and just to see the difference in where really the truth is your dog could have ended up in the same place as your hunting buddy's dog. And I'm really thankful that you were able to get to that next level of training, because I think that's serving you all well. You're probably getting birds faster. I mean, even a guy who says, I don't like hunting with dogs, now is saying, well, your dog's an exception. I would love to see in the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years that be a change perspective. Like, oh my gosh, we do not hunt unless we have a dog, including at outfitters. Like, a lot of outfitters don't want you to bring their dog because they're used to dogs that break and do all those challenges. Over time, I think the more people that are adapting this process, it'll be like, you need to bring the dog, because you're going to kill more birds. You're going to limit out quicker without having to run around and do all that, because the dog is more efficient.
100%. And that's what's really funny. Like last year, we hunted half the time with Bo, half the time with the other pup. And what's really funny was I brought Bo on every. Sometimes we got one, sometimes we got more. The other pup always got the first, because the veteran dog, the guy who runs the blind, like he gets the first. That's fine. I don't mind having Bo watch. But we estimated between, and this was a big thing, is we estimated between over 100 birds, 100 and 120 birds that we lost or that we didn't even get a shot at because the dog broke.
Oh my gosh.
And like
that is so many. 120?
It's night and day.
Wow.
The guy just sat there that's like the 90-year-old guy. He sat there on his pad and was just sitting there. Like,
I'd be mad too.
And he just sat there and tallied everyone we could have gone. We could have gotten. And it's just, he got fired up about it every time. He's like, I wish Bo would just come. Just bring Bo next time. Tired of it, just bring Bo. And it's...
Man. That's awesome.
I did want to say, if anyone has questions, like the group is by far amazing. In your videos, I came in and I even asked Sarah, I'm like, I need help. Bo is having trouble picking up honkers. And I mean, the 14, 15 pound local geese that are just giant. Like Bo's having trouble picking them up. He's 75 pounds. Like he's having trouble. And the very first post I put on the community site when it was on Facebook was, how can I help my pup pick up honkers? And like, I tried everything under the sun. I Googled it. I went on everyone's site. I messaged people. I tried everything. And I think it was you, one of the other chapter leaders, and then 30 other people commented like, try it in the water first. Try it in the water. And Barton commented. I know a lot of people commented on it and just kept on like tagging, like liking it and just go for the water. Go for the water. And Bo loves water. He swam in January in a pond. He just wanted to swim. Um, and it was funny because I got it after the hunt. We got one, and I'm sitting there going, "It's after the hunt. We're gonna be good. Let's see what we can do." And it was one of the big birds that he physically drugged back to the pit. I'm like, okay, we're gonna try it. Put it in the water. Went out, grabbed it, swam back, lifted his head up at me, and I'm like, I hate how long this took me to try this. And I had like 30 people commenting like, "Hey, try this. It'll help. Try it. We promise it'll help." I'm like, I wish I knew this so long ago because that was my like one main issue that I had that I just could not get over it. And within 2 weeks of asking the question, I'm like, this took so little. I overlooked this that little bit, and we haven't looked back from it. It's fantastic.
Wow. Well, man, Cody, we're glad you're part of CGA. Yeah, we're glad you're part of the lifetime community, right? We're glad you don't have to keep paying to be part of it. We just thought that made the most sense. We really have a family here. Is the way we view it. So once you're in, you're in. We're really glad you're part of it. Man, we are running. I can't even believe we're at almost on time. We are going to 100% have to do another episode because we didn't even really get to talk much about the PA chapter. We may have to just do an episode dedicated to the PA chapter, and I want to hear more about that. I'm fired up about that. But I'm just happy, man, about your story. I'm happy for you that you were able to find the success that you wanted with your dog, with Bo. I'm glad you're able to take it from that mediocre level, that just typical dog, getting up to that Cornerstone level, that amazing retriever. That's a fantastic hunting dog. And man, but the truth is, you're the one that put in the work. So good on you for doing it. It wouldn't have happened if you hadn't have done it. You're the one that did the work. So we're glad we were able to partner alongside of you, help guide you in that. And now, man, we're glad that you're helping others do the same. And we're proud of you. As we typically do, I want to, kind of ask this last question for this episode. And we'll do more. But what's one of your big things you would say to someone like you? And I know we've kind of covered it. I actually want to ask you two questions. The first one is, what would you say to someone yourself who just got a dog that's wandering into this and is excited, like maybe are not unaware of problems that are on the horizon? And then the second question I'll ask you is, what would you say to someone, briefly, and I know we've kind of covered that, but someone that is down the road, they've got a 2 or 3 year old dog that basically they're starting to lose hope with. Let's start with that first question though. The person like yourself, never trained a dog or a hunting dog before, just starting out on their journey, what would be your biggest piece of advice, other than choosing Cornerstone? I mean, clearly you're very pro Cornerstone. Is there like one nugget of advice you could give to them? Or unless it is choose Cornerstone, then whatever it is for you, but I'd love to know that.
I am a very big advocate of Cornerstone. Program, community, it's amazing. The one thing I do want to say is, as a new person, be a good leader and be the one that Bo doesn't get scared very often, but I remember we were at Lowe's, someone dropped a box, spider wrap came off, and that was that super loud noise. Bo was like 5 months old.
Ooh.
Hey, he got out of his harness. He stood behind me. And I'm like, that relationship is everything, especially when it comes to times where you're not sure, the dog's not sure. It's 4 a.m. You're at a brand new spot to hunt. Oh, I know for a fact Bo's going to be within 5 feet of me. We can walk 2 miles in. Bo's within 5 feet of me. I trust him enough. We have that relationship that I know where he's going to be. He knows where I'm going to be. If the dog trusts you, you trust the dog. You just gain that relationship together. And that's what's fantastic about Cornerstone is you go through the training process together. instead of sending him out to someone who gets him for 6 months, you'll lose all that time. If you could do it together, you gain that relationship. You gain the heartaches, you gain the hardships, you gain the wins. I'm not gonna lie, I jump up and down and clap and yell still. I'll be a cheerleader. I don't care because I'm so intertwined with so I put so much of myself into training him that it's just amazing to like tomorrow we go out for the first time of the year. And it's just I'm stoked that I get to take the dog and we're gonna run him and it's gonna be amazing. The relationship's so good that he knows for a fact I'm not leaving without him.
Man, that is so cool. Thanks for that advice. That's great advice. Like you said, hey, being that good leader, your dog's going to be able to trust you. It sounds like you didn't panic, and a lot of times people do panic, and you don't want to panic. If something bad like that happens, like especially something that could make your dog scared of loud noises, they're going to look to you quickly. And it sounds like you just kind of remain calm, and then your dog was able to pick up on that. So good nugget, good information. All right, what about the person that's starting to lose hope? They got a 2 to 3 year old dog. What would you say to them?
For a 2 to 3 year old dog, if you're losing hope, consistency. If you can, and I highly suggest it, join CGA, start from the beginning. I was perfectly fine at sit, stay, heel, but you know what? I did it again. And the heel got better, it got tighter. I don't have to use a leash 99% anymore. I still do it with leash laws, but I don't. It's if you work through it step by step by step, the gaps in your training that you didn't know you were missing are filled. You gain that relationship. You gain the missing gaps in order to make yourself so much better and your dog. I know CGA, we talk about how to make yourself how to make yourself better. Hey, here's how to help you understand what the dog's thinking, how the dog learns. Like that helped out a lot in, oh, that makes sense why he's not understanding this. Hey, that makes sense why we're not on the same page on this one. It's if you start from beginning to end, you just gain that little extra that personally I know I was missing.
Wow. Well, Cody, this has been an amazing podcast. I'm proud of you. I'm excited about your hunt tomorrow, opening day. I hope it's a great one. And man, just thank you for taking the time to jump on here and share and encourage others. I think this has been an encouraging podcast, really. I think for a lot of people, like, they've lost some hope with their dogs. Like, man, I just don't know if my dog's going to be what I want it to be, or maybe I'll have to get another dog one day. Like, hey, it is possible to still have that dog you dream of. And thanks for being an upstanding Cornerstone member, Cody. You crushed it, man, and we appreciate you for being on.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Build From Here podcast. To learn more about retriever training or our podcast, visit cornerstoneGunDogAcademy.com/podcast.